Alright, hey Blue Table fans, so I am here with another tactics video. Yay! We're going to talk about Tau this time. We're going to talk about deployment and what makes it good. Now this is going to be aimed at tournament type players. Alright, so let's look at it. Alright, so this is probably the best deployment for, what's it called? Not Spearhead. The 12-inch deployment, and it's good against anything that will want to assault you. So Space Marines, Orcs, Eldar, let's see here, what else? All those other assaulting armies. Basically not Tau, IG, Necrons. Oh, Tyranids will want to assault you. So this is basically what you do. Alright, so let's start basically what's just in the army. So for the HQ, we have just the basic Chaise L suit, just the normal 50.1 with the missile pod, a multi-tracker, and a plasma rifle. 87 points, dirt cheap. For your elites, you have 3 units of fire knife suits, internet code, yay. They have missile pods, multi-trackers, and plasma rifles. And you have 3 units of those, 3 times, with 3 each. The number 3. Oh, and each one has a team leader, so that's another 5 points. So it's 191 points per unit. For the troops, you have 6 fire warriors and 6 fire warriors. And the reason for that, we'll cover that later, but basically just 60 points each. You also have 17 Kroot, 10 Kroot with 7 hounds, and then 10 Kroot with 3 hounds for 13 Kroot. And that's 86 points and 112 points. If my math is right, I don't have a list in front of me, so it could be wrong. For the fast attack, you have 1 unit of Pathfinders and a Piranha, and another unit of Pathfinders. And they're mandatory Devilfish, which is why you take 2 Fire Warriors, because you just stick them in there. Otherwise, I would only ever take 1 unit of Fire Warriors. And for heavies, we have Broadsides with Team Leader, what's it called? Always slow and purposeful, something like that. Advanced stabilization system, not even close. Team leader with hardwired target lock and hardwired drone controller so that you can get 2 shield drones. And 2 hammerheads. This unit should come out to 200 points. Each hammerhead should come out to 185. The Pathfinder should come out to 212, I do believe, each. And then it's like 75 for the Piranha. It has the Fusion Blaster, the Meltagun, Meltagun, and Disruption Pods, and what else is it called? The Targeting Array, the thing that makes it shoot better. Yay, shooting better. Alright, here's why this is good for 12-inch deployment and against anything that will want to assault you. You set up with all of your suits right behind the tanks so that, guess what? Nobody can see them. You get down here, people can't see your suits behind your tanks. They're just tall enough. By the way, these are on the standard, stands for tanks. And these guys aren't jumping or kneeling or anything. They're normal posed. See if I can't get a better shot of it. But yeah, they're just normal guys, so it's totally legit. No modeling shenanigans. People can't see your suits, which, by the way, protect your suits, and I'll go into that later. Alright, so that's where your suits go. Your Fire Warriors have to stay outside of the Devilfish the first turn during deployment, because it's not their dedicated transport. So you just have them outside, it's kind of like this, they jump in the first turn. Broadsides in the corner, so that they have a very commanding field of vision. It's not so commanding right now because everything's in the way, but you will move it. Piranha either on this end or that end. Either way, basically it's going to zoom around, literally zoom around 24 inches until it can get a good shot, or for the entire game so it can try and contest an objective. Or it's going to zoom around just so it doesn't give up a kill point. Either way, that's what that's for, just one. The Pathfinders, just kind of set up wherever you can in area terrain. If you can't fit both in this little bubble, look at this nice bubble. Kroot, Fire Warriors, and the board edge. The edge of the world. It's okay. just stick the other ones right over there in the corner, just so that they have to send something over there. Unless they have outflankers, then you don't, because then they could just get gobbled up. Alright, also, now for the Kroot. They infiltrate, so they can go above the 12 inches, by the way. These are all at 10.5 inches, just so that people statistically cannot, or not statistically, mathematically cannot assault you. They have to move with, what are they called? Demolishers? No, Vindicators. Because you have to move, because it's a 24-inch range. So they're just at that, not quite at the starting point, but they're also far enough that you can fit all of your suits behind them. So that's 10.5 to 11 inches, whatever you feel like, whatever the terrain really allows you to do. Let's see here. So the Kroot are placed about 4 inches from the table edge, and then just in a straight line across. Here's why. So people will say, oh, I'll just assault right through there, or I'll just come around right here and I'll assault through there. Well, guess what? You're not going to do that the first turn. You have to do it at least 2 turns, so I'm going to have time to react. So if you come up on this edge, slide over just a little bit. Slide over just a little bit. If they're coming in from this edge, come around right here where the fire warriors are, so you just kind of close that off. Because if they're coming in from over here and over here, I mean, it's not going to work, and I'll tell you why in a second. So if they're coming in from over here, you just kind of bring the first squad in, try and just bring it down as much as you can. Same with these guys, just kind of bring it in. And if they have outflankers, what you do is, since these guys have slow and purposeful, you just kind of line them up right on the edge. Your piranha should be gone, and you just kind of bring the Kroot in just a little bit, just to cover that little bit, so they have to stay outside. For deployment, put them forward. It doesn't really matter where it is. Just make sure that there's 3.5 inches between the whole thing. And here's why. Drop pods. Oh my gosh, hate drop pods. Which brings me to my next point, actually. So drop pods. People say, well, I can totally just beat a castling army with drop pods. Where are you going to drop? I mean, here's the best spot. You can't drop in between the Kroot. Here's why. Drop pods are 3 inches thick on the base. So anywhere you go, you're going to be within 1 inch of an enemy model. But I can't mishap. Technically, you can. You can put anywhere. You can put the deep striking model anywhere on the board, and if you are found after you're done to be within 1 inch of an enemy, you mishap. Here, let me go get the rule book and I'll read that. Alright, so I found the drop pod rules, or deep striking rules. So that's on page 95, the big rule book. It's here, right here, under mishaps. And it says, if a model, if any of the models in a deep strike unit cannot be deployed because they would land off the table in impassable terrain, on top of a friendly model, or on top or within 1 inch of an enemy model, something has gone wrong. Now, we need to look at the drop pod, because this is what it says. Or this is why this happens. Let's see here. Where does it say? Oh. Should a drop pod scatter on top of an impassable terrain or another model, friend or foe, then reduce the scatter distance by a minimum required in order to avoid the obstacle. Here's the thing. So if you land, let's say right there, if you roll a hit, you can't reduce a hit. So therefore, you're stuck within 1 inch of a model, so you mishap. Also, if you scatter towards the army, there's nowhere that you can go that would reduce the scatter so that you would just mishap. And if you think I'm wrong, totally argue it with me. But make sure you include references, page references, whatever. So that's that. If they're going first and they have a drop pod land right here, they're going to shoot up those fire warriors. It's just how it's supposed to be. But for a Tau player, you're going to want to protect these suits. These suits are what will kill everything. Especially with marker light help. Hitting on 4s normally and wounding pretty much everything in the game on 2s. I mean, it's going to be anything toughness 5s, so that's like bikes, lords, monster screechers. I mean, everything else you're going to be wounding on 2s with the strength 7 and the strength 6. But then with Pathfinder, you just make yourself hit better. Let's see here. So yeah, so the first turn, you're going to want to jump these in jump these in. Then you're going to kind of have a feel of what they have. If they have drop pods, it may not be the best thing. Just kind of sacrifice that unit. Or you can use the devilfish kind of as a shield. Kind of see what's going on in their army. It's basically, you have to know their army as well as yours to really get a feel for this. But this is why it is, or this is, you know, what's good. So let's recap. 10 inches up, 10 or 11 inches up for each tank, suits behind. 1 unit of fire warriors hidden so that they can't just shoot at them. 1 has to protect the flank. Broadsides in the corner. Piranha on one of the sides so it can just zoom around and be annoying. Pathfinders in area terrain where possible, or completely on the other side of the table so that they have to send something over there to deal with it. Don't forget their range is 36 inches, so it's, you know, quite a bit. I mean, these guys in the corner have about right there-ish. Crude up about 4 inches away from the table edge just so they can kind of shuffle. So nobody can sneak by if they try and come up this flank. 3.5 inches apart, so no drop pods can land in there. The only thing that could really scare you would be Trigons and Turbogons, because they actually move models. Oh, and then right, for people that say, well, I'll come on this side and this side, so that you have to pick, or that way I'll get around one side of the bubble. Well, that's great. So pick one side to defend against, probably going to be this side. You've got all this firepower right here. Just concentrate everything right there on whoever's coming up. Just completely leave this side alone, make them deal with the tank or the recruit bubble, deal with everything right here. The best way to get rid of the recruit bubble, tank shocking. Hopefully with 4 railguns and enough strength 7 to decimate any armor 12, you should be able to get rid of everything. Yeah, so this works against armies that want to assault you, will get close, that aren't good in a long-range firefight. This is what you do. And then hold on just one second. All right, now we're going to talk about deployment for against a not assaulting army. So basically, other Tau, Necrons, IG, I think that's it. You know, shooting Marines, if that still exists. If someone's still playing that, kudos to you. Basically, exact same setup. The only thing that's different is the recruit hounds. If you know they're not going to be assaulting right away, you don't need it. If you're playing against Necrons, maybe 1 unit up here if they have like Lich Guard or Wraiths, something fast. But basically what you're going to want to do is outflank them. And the reason why you want to outflank them, I did a video, I think it's called IG, Tau versus IG, Tactics with Josh or something like that. But I explained the whole reason why recruits should outflank. They'll get tanks, they're really good at munching up like heavy weapon teams. But that's what you want to do, especially against another shooting army. Chances are they're going to be spread across the whole table too. Also, another good thing about this for the assaulting, if they outflank and they come in over there, sure they're going to eat that 1 unit if you left it over there and you couldn't fit it in here. But look how much terrain, or look how much, what's it called? I'm looking for a word. It's called distance. Man, that was hard. Distance to get to you. Whereas if they outflank on here, they have to come outside the bubble because remember, you came in, your broadside, moved up on the corner. Yep, there's the outflanking denial. Yeah, and I think that's just about it. So, conclusion, 10 inches, so you can hide your suits behind. Always be moving your tanks just slightly so that you can always get back behind them. Piranha runs around just to be annoying. Yeah, other than that, that's pretty much how you deploy with Tau. And with the current codex, the current rules, just keep trying. You're going to lose 50 games before you win one. It's an old codex, it's shown its age. It's why it's probably going to be getting a new one. So hopefully this will help someone. And if they get a new book in the next couple months, I'll be doing a different video. So hopefully this one is still good for a while. That's it. Once again, my name on YouTube is RustBucket34373. go ahead, if you have any questions, email them to me through YouTube. That way, just so Sean doesn't have to deal with it, because I do this on my own kind of thing for his channel. Ask me any question. I probably won't have anything to say about most of them. For instance, one guy sent me a message like, help me with lizardmen. I don't know what to do with them. I don't either, actually. I don't play lizardmen. But what he did do, how I could help him, he was like, I'm struggling against Warriors of Chaos. I know how to beat Warriors of Chaos. So I sent him a message, was like, I don't know lizardmen, but I can help you with Warriors of Chaos. So, yeah, if, go ahead and email me any questions you have. I may not answer, but I don't know. Depends on what you ask. All right, and that's it. See you later.